The night tore itself open around me as I ran through the ruins, every breath a desperate gasp slicing the cold air. Shadows crawled over the broken stone like living serpents, reaching for my ankles, whispering my name with voices not fully human. Moonlight splintered through the smoke rising from burned talismans, signs that the hunters had found me. But as I stumbled across a shattered archway, the darkness shifted. It condensed. It breathed. And from inside it stepped a figure taller than the broken pillars, carved from shadow and fire. Thorn. His stare burned, two molten embers locking onto me with terrifying certainty. "Ayra," he said, voice low enough to shatter bone. "If anyone tries to claim you, celestial or demon, I will tear the sky apart." My heartbeat stuttered. I didn't know if the danger behind me or the creature in front of me terrified me more. I had lived my entire life hiding in abandoned temples, carved into cliffsides and forests where no light reached the ground. As the last celestial, my existence was a threat to those who sought control of the gates separating realms. My power, untrained, volatile, was the final anchor keeping the world from collapsing into demonic chaos. But that power also painted a target on my spine. Magic hummed under my skin constantly, whispering reminders that I wasn't safe, that I would never be safe. Celestials were supposed to be warriors of light, but I grew up knowing only fear. Stories of Thorn followed me like shadows. The daemon guard bound to my bloodline, created in ancient times when Celestials forged unholy alliances to survive great wars. Thorn was their masterpiece, an immortal weapon born of darkness yet sworn to protect a light. Children of my lineage whispered about him with reverence and terror. He obeys Celestials. He kills for Celestials. And when the last Celestial falls, he falls with them. I never believed the stories, not truly, until the night my sanctuary was breached. The wards shattered. The hunters poured in, and Thorn stepped from the shadows as if he had been waiting centuries for this moment. Thorn's presence bled through the ruins like a storm given shape. His armor glinted in fragments of moonlight, obsidian plates etched with demonic sigils that pulsed faintly as though alive. Shadows clung to his skin, spiraling around his arms as if they worshipped him. I stood frozen, unable to run, unable to breathe. "You're real," I whispered, my voice trembling despite my efforts to steady it. His eyes flickered, studying me with a devotion that felt too intense to be sane. "I was forged for your bloodline," he murmured, stepping closer. "I awaken when you awaken. I exist when you exist." The words reverberated through me, unsettling and magnetic. He stepped closer, as if I belonged to him, the air tightening between us. My heartbeat stuttered again. Heat radiated from him, sinking into my bones, swirling with the hum of my magic. I forced myself to speak. "Why now? Why reveal yourself?" His gaze dipped briefly to the pulse trembling at my throat. "Because you were hunted, and I do not allow the world to touch what is mine." I inhaled sharply as his hand lifted, fingers brushing a stray lock of hair away from my face. The touch was barely there, yet my skin burned as though marked. Magic flared inside me, responding to his presence with terrifying obedience. "Your magic calls for guardianship," he whispered, voice fraying with an emotion I didn't recognize. And I answer. Hours later, as the ruins fell silent behind us, Thorn guided me through a dense, ancient forest, where roots curled like veins and shadows pulsed like living breaths. He walked to my right, close enough that our arms brushed occasionally, each accidental touch sending shivers spiraling through my spine. Magic hummed under my skin again, restless, tangled with the strange pull that bound me to him. "Where are we going?" I finally asked. "Somewhere built for you," he replied without looking back. "A place only a celestial heir may enter." His voice held an old sadness, heavy enough to bend the air around us. When the forest floor dipped unexpectedly, my foot caught on a twisted root. I stumbled, but Thorn was faster. His arms circled my waist, pulling me against his chest. I felt the hard armor beneath his clothes, the heat radiating through him like a furnace. "Careful," he murmured near my ear, breath brushing my skin. "The watch watches us." "I'm not afraid," I whispered, though my pulse thundered. His lips curved in a dark, almost pained smile. "Your heartbeat betrays you." My heartbeat stuttered again, harder this time. He kept holding me, fingers gripping my waist in a way that made logic unravel. The world narrowed to his heat, his breath, the faint scent of ash and night clinging to him. When he finally let me go, the air felt colder than before. We reached a clearing where an obsidian arch stood half buried in roots, its surface glimmering faintly with celestial symbols. "This was built for your arrival," Thorn said quietly. "A sanctuary of light and shadow, a place meant to awaken what sleeps inside you." As I approached, his hand brushed mine, accidentally, unintentionally, and yet he didn't pull away. The brief touch lingered, igniting a spark that traveled through my veins. I felt it, deep, ancient recognition, as if something inside me whispered, "He is yours. You are his." I didn't dare say it aloud. As soon as I stepped closer to the archway, a violent flash of silver erupted from its surface. Light slammed into me, ripping through my veins with the force of a star detonating. I gasped, falling to my knees as raw celestial power surged uncontrollably. Thorn caught me instantly, one hand pressing against my back, the other gripping my forearm. "Ayra, look at me. Breathe." But the world blurred into streaks of silver and black. Images spiraled behind my eyes. Celestial wings bathed in fire, a shattered throne suspended in darkness, a crown of fallen stars. "What is happening?" I choked out. "The truth," Thorn said, rough, trembling with a rare crack of vulnerability. "This place is awakening your birthright." I tried to stand, but the magic wouldn't let me. It tore through me, demanding, claiming, ancient. Thorn pulled me against him, steadying my trembling body. "Tell me," I whispered, desperate, "what am I?" His jaw tightened, shadows rippling along his skin, as if reacting to the truth he didn't want to speak. "You are not only the last celestial, you are the anchor, the living key that keeps the realms in balance. If you fall, the gates fall. If you die, the world breaks." The words shredded something in my chest. "But why didn't my family tell me?" "Because demons would tear the realms apart to claim your power," he whispered. "Because your magic can bind armies to your will. Because your heart—" His voice faltered, shadows tightening. "Your heart can command both light and darkness, and that makes you the most dangerous being alive." I stared at him, breath shaking. "And you? What are you in this?" "Bound," he said softly. "My existence tied to your heartbeat, my power guided by your magic. I protect you not because I choose to, Ayra." His eyes burned hotter than fire. "I protect you because if you fall, I fall." A shared curse, a shared fate, a shared doom. The air cracked before I could respond, a thunderous snap echoing through the forest as something massive moved between the trees. Roots trembled, branches snapped. Then the creature burst into the clearing, a hunter beast forged from nightmares, its horns dripping venom, its eyes burning with hunger for celestial power. The moment it sensed me, it lunged with a screech that shook my bones. I raised my hand, trying to summon my magic, but the power was too wild. It flooded me with blinding heat, overwhelming me. Pain tore through my chest, forcing me to my knees. "Ayra!" Thorn roared. He stepped in front of me, shadows exploding from his body like wings of darkness unfurling. In a blink, he transformed, no longer merely a man, but a demon lord, towering, monstrous, terrifying. His roar split the air, shaking the very ground. The beast lunged. Thorn caught it mid-air, slamming it into the earth with such force the ground cracked. Demon fire spilled from his wounds as claws raked across his chest. I screamed his name, magic bursting from me unwillingly in spirals of silver that wrapped around him, strengthening him even as it burned me. "Stay behind me," he snarled, voice distorted by demonic fury. But I couldn't. My magic hummed under my skin, begging to be unleashed. The beast lunged again, but Thorn moved faster, crushing its throat in one brutal motion. It collapsed in a heap of shuddering limbs. Panting, Thorn turned toward me. His chest heaved, shadows flickering across his body as he slowly shifted back into his humanoid form. "You could have died," he growled, voice raw with fear and fury. He dropped to my knees in front of me, his hands gripping my face desperately. "If anything happens to you, the bond will tear me apart. Do you understand?" My heartbeat stuttered beneath his touch. "Thorn?" His forehead pressed against mine, breaths colliding, emotions too intense to name. "You belong to my protection, whether you accept the bond or not." Behind us, the obsidian arch trembled. Celestial silver flared across its surface, merging with demonic black until both lights twined together like two halves of the same heartbeat. Thorn stiffened. No, this shouldn't be happening yet." "What is it?" I breathed. He pulled me against his chest, shadows coiling protectively around us. His stare burned with something dangerously close to fear. He whispered, "The bond is awakening early. It will change everything. It will change you." The ground convulsed. The vortex in the archway roared open. Light and darkness spiraled together. A burning mark seared itself onto my skin, right over my heart, branding me with ancient magic. I cried out, collapsing into him. Thorn caught me instantly, arms locking around me with fierce desperation. "Ayra, stay with me," he begged, voice cracking. "This bond will bind you to me in ways you cannot yet imagine." The mark flared. The vortex swallowed the clearing in blinding light. Thorn's lips brushed my ear as he spoke the words that shattered the night. "When this is over, you won't fear me. You'll crave me." And then everything went dark. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like, comment your favorite moment, and subscribe for the next chapter.